Hello, Internet, and happy September. Welcome to Ggameknights presenting Wildspace. I'm your host this evening, Ryan. With me, I have the best cast anyone could ever ask for. We have Savannah, Sean, and Alex. Tonight, we don't have Barry, but we will be back next time, I'm sure. We have a fantastic show today, I'm sure. I have so much confidence in that. But we also have other shows going on almost every single day, it feels like. The next one after this is going to be tomorrow, Friday, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, called Neon Souls, run by Sean and played by Savannah, who's here, and also 3 other players who are amazing, and depending on if there's guests or not, that are amazing, and it's a really fun time. So definitely stop by and check that out for Cyberpunk goodness, and get pumped for 227. I forget what's Cyberpunk 2099. I don't know what it is. What is
2077?
77, not 99. Yeah, that's the Marvel thing, isn't it? Well, anyhow. That's all my announcements that I have for right now. But does anyone have any personal announcements or any for your streams or anything like that? Oh,
that's
right. All right. Fantastic. So, then we can just get into it. We can just get into this game and start having fun right away. Last time on Wildspace, the crew rescued little clone babies from a secret lab owned by a evil hyper corporation, and the crew is flying to Chamachamandir, which is a kind of religious mecca for the Edict of Incandescence, a religion of which Rosh is an integral part. I was trying to think of the preposition to use there. It's like under which of from yeah, I'd really struggle with that one. However, here we are. We can be on the ship, or we can be there. Did you all want to do anything on the ship on the way there, or any chitty chats, prepping yourself for what you're about to face? Any thoughtful staring at a bunch of vats of your baby bros and sisters?
Right. I just want to clarify. They're all still in the.
They're all in the
tubes.
vats.
Okay.
They're all in the vats until they are cured. Because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with sick kids right now. They're all going to be fine until they're fine. That's how this world works.
I think I missed the part where they're sick.
Oh, I mean, not sick. No, not sick. So just brainwashed.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, you haven't told anyone that I'm back yet.
No, I mean, I thought maybe you had done like the brain message to Father Ramon, but
yeah, we talked about this and you were going to do it.
No, you specifically told me not to when we spoke about it last time. You said it would be a bad idea just to send them a message out of the blue. I think we sent them a missive, like a email or something. Has anyone checked our inbox?
I mean, we got that PO box back on what's the place that is all tentacled now? Yuval. But
Right.
I don't think anything's getting sent there anymore. But I mean, we've let them know that the Arcturus is arriving, but we haven't told them that you're here.
Right.
I was just going to clarify.
In the sky.
I was just going to clarify that they knew you died. That was like, and that is why Drew is part of this mission to get you back. And his sister was the one who helped find the Lightbringer that helped bring you back. So they know. I don't know that they know that you're back or alive or on the way, though. That's up to y'all.
I very vividly remember the conversation of don't just do a sending and say like, yo, I'm alive. That might be a problem. I didn't remember if we did anything else after that.
Well, if you don't remember it, it didn't happen.
Probably didn't happen. Yeah.
And I don't, and no matter what Jeff says. But so where are you having this conversation? Can Drew be a part of this?
Sure.
Okay.
Triangle table room.
Yeah.
The TTR.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
What do you mean? What am I going to do?
Well, it's kind of a big deal, right? And it's like a really big deal.
What, do you think I should show up glowing and flying or something like that?
I mean, I don't know. I don't.
That seems. I don't want to make this any worse on anyone, let alone my mother, because regardless of the ramifications of me being invested with the spirit of a departed god, it won't stop her from tearing me a new one.
Yeah. I mean, however you want to do it, that's up to you. Now I'll support it.
I was thinking I'd just walk up and say hello.
Okay. It's good. It's a good plan.
Does anyone have a better idea? Should I wait on the ship until somebody's delivered the news?
I can if you wish.
Well, I will admit there is a part of me that just wants to be like, hey, Father Ramon, we brought all these maybe brainwashed kids. Maybe you can help. Oh, and by the way, Rosh is back. And just see how they take it, but...
He is very old, and I also don't want to give him a start.
No, I think someone should kindly and delicately break the news. You just walking in the door, I don't think is prudent.
Well, here's my assumption is we should probably leave the pods on the ship until we figure out what we're doing with them. We shouldn't just walk around Shamacha with a train of pod people.
No. Also, they're quite heavy.
Right. So maybe I stay on the ship, watch over them while you two make the arrangements with Father Ramon, talk to him, tell him what's going on. Somebody tell my mother. Bring them back to the ship. I say hello. Lessen the blow a bit.
Now, is your mother some kind of special healer? Because I'm trying to think how we can get her to also come that isn't just going to blow the story wide open.
I think you just tell her that I am alive. I don't, again, no surprises. No gotchas. Just, you got me back. They knew you were trying. I assume. If Drew's here. So, and Drew, you can help as well. You know these people better. Like I said, no surprises, just...
I know these people better? Well, maybe than you. That might be true, actually. You've been gone for a while.
Does that sound like, to me, rationally, that sounds like the best plan? I mean, I don't know, maybe my brain's a bit muddled still.
No, I think you're right. I mean, it's going to be shocking, but
They're gonna be excited. They're gonna want to throw a party.
And that's fine. Once, again, the two people I'm most concerned about, Father Ramon and my mother. As
who would
long
you
as
like
they're
to
not
tell them?
surprised. Vincent, you seem to have the best tongue for delicate matters. I think the two of you, Gwen and Vincent, you should tell them together.
And before Rochel's mom is in a pit.
I haven't cast any magic yet today. It's not, getting wibbly yet.
Right. Okay. Well, that would certainly take the sting out of finding out that I'm still alive.
You could almost say it's like the floor fell out from underneath her when she found out the news.
Right. Let's avoid that. Okay. Well, sounds like we have a plan, or something resembling one.
If things for some reason go sideways, I'll try and make a pit and, make that a thing instead.
No, if they get angry, then I think we just let them be angry about
What do they have
it.
to be
But I
angry
can't
about?
imagine. Well, exactly. I don't think they have any reason. I mean, the only thing would be being angry at me for dying in the first place.
Well, they wouldn't be the only ones.
Right. Okay. Well, the party should be interesting then.
The last one certainly was.
And I wasn't a god then.
I'm not telling them that part.
No. Let's keep that between us until I can tell Father Ramon and my mother in private.
So wait, before you didn't have the piece of divinity in you or whatever it is, you were just prophet or reincarnation, but now that you're back, you have God juice in you?
It's more like it was kindled, like it was there, nobody knew it was there, and then it just sort of, me dying sort of fanned the flames.
Got it. Okay.
They know me as Light Hallowed, which bears a special significance. Finding out that I have the seed of Helios inside me would be something entirely new. It might cause people to overreact.
Like I said, I'm not touching that one. That seems like something they
Good.
should hear from you.
Yes, I will tell them that. I mean, everyone will know eventually, but I think it should come from the right people.
I'll be glad to
Too
see your
bad
mother
you've just
again.
got us.
I'll be glad to see her too.
Oh look, we're almost there.
Oh, there we are. This is our exit.
Oh, we missed it.
Wait, who's driving the ship?
Wait, Vincent, if you're here.
And then they just crash into a moon.
And that's how we
All
ended
right.
up back in Space Florida.
I mean, I gotta go see Elizabeth at some point.
We should do that.
No.
Why is the thing from Dead Space on my screen?
Is that from Dead Space? Oops.
I'm pretty sure that's the obelisk from Dead Space.
Oh,
I'm not entirely
Is it
sure.
really?
No, it's very cool, but it
cool.
it gave me a
Ominous.
sense of dread.
Oh, did I not do this one last time? I was looking at my old
don't-
art for like Chamacha Mandir that I picked out, but like maybe I just never. That was just for my reference and not.
I remember seeing this, and I have not played Dead Space. I'm googling it.
I haven't either.
I thought
It's glowy and red,
No,
but
I think
it's
the one-
Cool looking.
More spiral.
It-
yeah,
it
that's
looks-
what I was gonna say.
It looks like the obelisk of an Egyptian dead Xbox.
That's the red
That's
ring of death.
exactly right.
No, I love it. It's very
It's
cool.
rad.
So
You guys
that
at home can't see it.
so that's it. I mean, the picture that we see for inspiration notwithstanding, Sean, how about you describe what Chamacha Mandir looks like? Like if it is different than this, which I imagine it is.
If you go back and watch episode, I don't remember the last time I did this. No, it's so Chamacha Mandir is a temple that orbits a like a red star.
Yeah.
Kind of like that episode of well, basically almost exactly like that episode of Doctor Who. I'm trying to remember. It's one of the Matt Smith ones where they're like worshiping the sun and the sun is like evil, and I don't remember. Anyway,
The one with the little girl that sings a song.
Yeah, the little girl sings a song to the sun. The sun's a vampire.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I thought the song was "The World is a Vampire."
Oh man. But yeah, so it's like an asteroid or a chunk of space debris that just floats around this star, but which should be like incinerated, but through the magical essence and the blessings of the people that live there is habitable, and the temple itself built on top of it, and the city around it is all built from like brass and with this golden like temple in the center.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's very archaic and like and old looking. I think like the Egypt sort of visual is a very good one.
Cool. So, Vincent, you take the ship down and settle the landing gear down on one of the landing zones, which are kind of I kind of like the idea of like a kind of bronze tile sort of thing that you like kind of clunk down on. Yeah, you have landed. We can do this step by step, or we can fast track. How do you want to play this? Rosh's mother's name is Uline.
I gotta remember. I suppose we can split
remember
up.
because it's similar to Ursine. And I just imagine her giving him a big old bear hug.
Oh, that's nice. Do you want to fetch Father Ramon?
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
All right.
Over to him.
So we can zoom ahead when Father Ramon that do you remember what he looks like, Sean? What was in your head? Or we don't have to describe him. We can just like let like people picture whatever they want.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I mean, yeah, he would wear the same white vestments with the gold accents and the gold and red accents as everyone else. Yeah. Older gentlemen. I don't really have a
Deckard Cain.
So the last time, if I recall, he's actually been on the ship before. You all brought him up here to heal Eleanor, right? Or of her befeeblement or feeble mind thing. So I think it's been some time, not forever. I think he's moving a little slower, and maybe is leaning on somebody as he tries to make his way up the ramp. If anyone is willing to offer their elbow. Okay, so he's kind of with kind of leaning on Gwen. Father Ramon makes his way up the ship. Are you there at the top, Rosh? Or
yeah, I think Rosh is kind of walking out to the as he hears them approaching, kind of walks out to meet them.
You look different now.
Mm.
Are you wearing the same clothes that you used to wear? Are you wearing different clothes? Or...
I think so. I think whatever they have, I mean, the same stuff in the art. It's
yeah. Oh,
what
right.
he had in the
We
ship
do
that
have
they
art,
brought back to him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Forgot. Yeah, I think. Yeah, seeing like all the vestments and especially like the spear and like all that stuff. Father Ramon. His old eyes take a while to like believe what they see before them. Like, Marshall.
Hello, Father.
I don't believe it.
I don't quite either. How are you?
Better than I have been in some time. Come here, child. Give me a hug. I don't know what you're doing over there.
Okay, go ahead and give a very gentle hug.
Okay. And kind of does that kind of old person hug where they're just kind of tapping an arm, you know? You really come back.
Thanks to them, yes. Gesture towards Gwen and Vincent and Milo and Drew if they're around.
This truly is a miraculous day.
It very much is. I am hoping this isn't too much of a shock. I would have let you all know sooner, but I figured this is something we should tell you in person.
It's not a shock. Every day that I've gone up and looked at the sun, I thought this would be the day that you return. You're a little late, actually.
Well, my mother always got on to me for such. We have some people that we're trying to help. As much as I want to discuss how things are going since I was last here, I figured we should deal with that first because I think we're on a bit of a time crunch with that.
Of course. Just like last time, it seems.
It is, yes.
That wasn't intentional by the DM.
Father Ramon, they're up this way, kind of like I was telling you about how you helped me with my memory stuff, and we trail off, leaving Rosh with his mom, who has not said anything yet.
Is his mom? is Ulan here?
Okay. How do I want to play your mom?
Because I do have a description of his mom. His mom is an elf with like long silver hair, probably a few, I imagine, in her 400s or so.
Yeah, she's just thrilled to see you. She just throws her arms around your neck and like squeezes you in really hard. Yeah. Moms don't stay too mad when their child is back from the dead. Generally speaking, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of horror movies. But it really depends on the nature of the resurrection, I suppose. But I think I think there's a bit of like kind of uncertainty in just like how different you look, and she's just kind of taking you in her eyes. Like, do you think there are like any like facial features that seem the same? Like it's like like the cut of your jaw is the same or something like that. Like it's just like a different material.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Rosh looks the same. It's just the different material and colors and stuff.
Then she's looking for things she remembers, like a specific like way that maybe your collarbones are slightly asymmetrical. She's like looking for these like markers that she knows about you, and like as she's kind of taking you in, and if she finds something, she's just like, she takes a deep breath and she's like excited and it's like, my child.
I'm glad that you're happy to see me. I was a little worried that you were going to be angry that I was gone for so long.
I would like you to visit me more than you do, Rosh. I know that you are the prophet, light, and all that, but I am still your mother.
Yes. I will try to visit you more often. I think we'll be, hopefully, this will be the last time that something like this will happen. So,
the universe isn't that big, Rosh. Okay, Uline. Sorry, I didn't even believe that when I said it at all. But in her mind, it's never big enough that you can't make your way home every now and then more often.
Let's see with our business, and we'll catch up. I'd like to know how things have been around here since I've been gone.
You have many important things to attend to, I'm sure, but I do get to spend some time with you this evening. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even know if they need me here right now. We can go catch up and speak now. I suppose as good a time as any.
I can show you what I've done in the garden.
Right. I'd like to see that. Gwen, Vincent, Vincent, I assume you have things handled with the pod. I don't know if either of you would like to join us, or...
Sure.
Y'all go ahead. I'll catch up Father Ramon on all this.
Okay. So, the Gwen, Rosh, and Uline go through a walk through the city. Rosh, you turn a lot of heads. I think the word begins to spread pretty quickly, but like in within, I would say, like 10-15 minutes, like kind of medium crowds begin to like kind of gather around you. People that are trying to be respectful, but like in some sense, but they're just like kind of crowding around to see you. And I don't know if you're like that you stop and speak to anyone or if you keep going, but
I think Rosh stops and speaks to everyone. It's painful.
Okay. Okay. Also, your camera slowed down. I don't know if that's just on my end. Is it everyone else's?
I saw it too.
Yeah.
It seems to regulate it just now. So never mind. I won't draw attention to it. But I think it's fine now. Anyway, okay. So for right now, it's probably going to take you a while to get to her house because people are starting to stop you and talk to you and everything. And Gwen, are you just like just being stoic next to Rosh this whole time?
I think Gwen is watching everybody that walks up to him very carefully.
I do think you do see a tabaxi, I think it was, wearing an ensemble that definitely came from Talbot's, who is very happy to see and is just kind of like just peeking up around like the kind of gaggle of people. I don't have a thing to do with that. Just I'm just trying to, I forget if they had a name.
I remember them, but I don't remember.
Might be somewhere in my old notes.
I did. Yeah, that would be fun. Anyway, they I don't know where to go with that. I don't know anything. Cool. So we can go back to Vincent and the ship for right now. Vincent, Father Ramon is like looking at all these fats with you. It's like, what is this?
I'm still getting some of those memories back, but short version is they and me and who knows how many others are sort of genetic experiments by Ocelot as a way for them to try and tap into the lattice of heaven. I forget what they called it, but where the celestials are and what allows hyperspace travel and all that.
Were they all affected in similar ways as you?
Perhaps. My understanding is after my rescue from the facility, they may have put in some more safeguards on the kids, maybe tried to make them more obedient, and I'm just concerned that they may have been tampered with, brainwashed, essentially, and want to make sure they're able to live as much of a semblance of the normal life as they can.
Well, we will do for them what we can. We see if we can heal their minds and introduce them to society. We will take care of them. They won't go hungry. They won't be without shelter.
I appreciate that. But, yeah, I mean, they might fit in here, because if they're like me, they probably also do the glowy thing, and that seems to be kind of a big thing around here.
It is our aesthetic, for sure, yes. How are you?
I mean, still processing. Like, I didn't remember that there were so many others of me, and now, gotta figure out whatever happened to the others from my generation, but I also realize that, there are slightly more pressing concerns for us to deal with.
I understand. You've done a good thing for these poor children. Would you like them to know about you?
I think so. I mean, I don't know just yet what our next plans are, how long we'll be sticking around here, how long you'll, how quickly you'll be able to help them, but, I figure at some point I'll definitely be coming back, and they'll be like, hey, who's that big guy who looks like us? And not really going to be able to avoid the question for too long, so.
Well, that will be an interesting day indeed. Okay, so Father Ramon begins to, organize some helpers, and all these vats are removed from the Arcturus with your permission to a safe place within the grounds of the temple. And Father Ramon will, over time, work with the children, and with the deconditioning. Is that can we say it like that?
Yeah.
Sure. And I'm. If you want to have a specific scene, anybody, we can do that. Otherwise, just over the next few days, there's going to be parties and feasts and everything centered around Roshal's return. Rosh, you can, depending on what you want to talk about, maybe you can. I don't know. But what do you want to have a scene talking about anything? I'm trying to think. Do you want to have a scene with Gwen and your mom in the garden? It's kind of like, is this your first time meeting Roshal's mom, Gwen? Kind of a big deal.
I think we met her last time.
I think you met, but
Gwen looks a lot different than the last time she saw her.
Mm-hmm. So does Rosh.
So does Vincent. He's got wings.
He's got everyone does.
We all look so different.
Yeah, adventuring's a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
I think maybe one scene with Gwen and Uline can cover that, and then talk, and like Rosh can briefly tell her about like the god thing, and then we can just cover. That'll be a blanket, him telling everyone, because I don't want to sit here for an hour with Rosh individually telling everyone about
That's
that.
what the whole session should be. We'll all play different NPCs.
We'll all play different NPCs, and we'll just have just a revolving door, just like, and we all ask Rosh for a petition of some.
That sounds fun for everyone but Sean.
But I mean, we don't want to put all that work Savannah made in making the million different name cards to waste.
I've spent 4 years doing this leading up to this moment.
Fantastic. So all right, let me grab a drink, and then we can start that scene for sure.
Okay.
Cool.
So how's everyone doing?
Are you guys gonna tell Rosh's mom that you're a thing now?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if.
I mean, Gwen's
Have
not,
we talked
but
about? Yeah.
it's your mom.
I missed a little bit, just a little bit, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're at Uline's house. What does her garden look like? I mean, this is not a very bright sun, so it's probably not like it's not like an English garden or anything. But is it like maybe some kind of fungus garden or lichen or something that like maybe has like some phosphorescence or something? I don't know. What seems cool to you on this hunk of rock with minimal light?
I was kind of envisioning like a lot of like very like bleached looking like trees and plants. I was trying to think of the right word. Like there's a visual I'm thinking of, like things you'd see grow in the desert.
Yeah.
But like everything is very like white except for like these vibrant buds of like you get like a white cactus with this vibrant like colorful like red bloom to it. It's a lot of like reds and whites.
I also like this visual, and you can mix this, of like hanging from a lot of the branches. They like people from Chamacha Mandir might like hang like prisms, something like that, to catch the minimum light, and like this breaks it up and like spreads up in little points everywhere, like things to catch the light and to spread it, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool. So yeah, you're walking through this garden. Maybe there's like this little stone gravel path that's like on kind of top of maybe the kind of dustier, sandy or rocky ground. but
I think there's a brief moment where, like, because Samantha was saying Gwen was giving like a lot of looks to the crowd and stuff, where Rosh notices that and just is like, "It's all right. No one here means there's any harm."
You know every single person here.
I trust them. If they're here standing under the light, then they belong here.
All right.
Have a little faith.
I think I've more than a little at this point.
So, Mother, the garden looks wonderful.
Thank you. I've had a lot of help while you've been gone, moving the rocks and everything.
You know I wouldn't be much help with that anyway.
It's true, it is your dump stat, yes. But we had those good neighborhood boys helping out, and boys and girls helping move the heavier bits. You know, I don't have a name generator, but you know, Brenda.
Yes? How's Brenda doing?
Oh, so good, so strapping. And Brent.
Right, the twins.
Yes.
Didn't we have a Brent and he was like a guard minion who just got demolished in a fight? I'm gonna have to look this up.
Oh gosh. R.I.P. Brent. But yeah, they were twins, not to each other, but to other siblings. But they were inseparable in a different way. Friendship until Brent was a guard, I guess.
Right.
Showing up in a control F.
Right.
Oh, yes. So I feel silly asking this, and if you don't want to talk about it, I understand. What is death like?
Oh. That's a very complicated question.
You don't have to answer it.
No, it's actually one of the things I wanted to discuss. I don't know if what I experienced, well, I'm almost certain that what I experienced is not standard. A close friend of ours, you met, I believe, last time we were here, Pace, died, and her experience was much different than what I saw. For me, it was a remembering, really. There was a light, as you might expect, and it was as if I don't know. I lived a lifetime in a moment. And something spoke to me, but not really speaking, more like thinking, like thoughts that I was having that I didn't remember being my own. And I learned things. It's rather complicated, and I'm still sorting through some of it. But, well, I need to tell Father Ramon this, and I want to tell you first because it's rather important. It's going to probably change some things. sort of like looks to Gwen for kind of some support for a second, like not really sure how to say this. You know that when you found me, you said you saw something special in me, and when I was brought here, when I was chosen as the Light Hallowed, and I went through the trial, I went through the changes that I did, and through dying again, I've sort of changed again, and I learned that the god that we worship, Helios, I learned the name for it, or one of the names. I learned that they died a long time ago, and that the what we worship is the fragments of that divine being, the divinity sort of scattered, what remains of it since this conflict. And I learned that while a fragment of that god somehow was imbued inside of me. I don't know if it was from birth or from the ritual itself that named me Light Hallowed, but apparently I'm a descendant of, or a reemergence of that being in our universe.
So she looks at you. Emotion kind of wells up in her eyes, but it's like it's from being overwhelmed. She's learned that, or you've told her, or how she's interpreted what you told her is that whatever she's been worshiping, that thing is dead. But also, it's still around and it's growing in me, Mom. And like, and she has a general healthy skepticism in her life, but also she knows that you do not lie. And I think there's she just kind of overwhelmed. There's too many things for her to process at this moment, and she just kind of stares at you quietly for a while.
I know this is a lot to take in. And we don't really understand it much either. But the light is still here. It's real. It's more than just me.
What does this mean?
I don't know. It means that I believe that there's something very important that I have left to accomplish here. But I don't have the answers yet. Like I said, my memories are fragmented.
I was imagining her standing up for this, and she kind of just slowly kind of droops down and sits if there's furniture around on furniture, but if not, she just kind of sits down on the ground and taking in what you're saying. I knew that you were special. Every parent thinks their child is special, but this is a lot, Rosh.
Right. And I don't want anyone to treat me any different. This is, again, I am who I have always been. I just didn't want, I can't keep this from people. This is important for our faith, for our religion, to know this history.
How would you like to do this? It's
like
going to be a shock.
I think telling Father Ramon in private would be the best first step, and letting him decide how to disseminate the information. I'll write down everything I remember.
The first book of Rosh.
That's almost exactly what I said.
That's not. There's one other piece of information that I wanted to tell you, though.
Yes.
Throughout this entire process, one thing that I did realize and became abundantly clear to me, well, I don't exactly know how to say this or even how to bring this about, and I think they take Gwen's hand, if she will let him.
Sure.
You've met Gwen previously, and she went through a lot to bring me back. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her and Vincent and all of them, but I don't think I'd have as much of a reason to be here, a reason to have returned, if it wasn't for Gwen. I love her very much, and I wanted you to know that.
Moonline just kind of looks back and forth between the two of you, smiling. She might roll an insight check on you, Gwen, because I don't know what Gwen is doing.
Gwen, as you guys may remember, is notoriously hard to read.
Yeah. So, what's Uline's wisdom modifier? You think +1, 2?
I'd say a healthy 2, probably.
Or 2? Is she proficient in insight?
Oh, she's a mom. She'd have to be.
So we'll give her a +2 to that as well. All right, she rolled 18. I don't know. I don't know if she reads anything. Gwen, you're famously difficult to read, and like you don't emote. So like, is this a moment that you want to choose to where things break through? Like narratively, do things break through to the surface here, or do you stay your normal self where like inscrutable things aren't affecting you?
This is a hard choice you have laid before me.
As hard as dying.
No, I mean, she's not gonna like bust out in song and dance or anything, but I mean, her eyes aren't as sad as they were before. I think she can tell that there's something there, but you know.
Okay. So like with the tiny little morsel that your expression has given her, she runs with it, and as moms tend to do, and well, I don't know everyone's mom. I'm just projecting a lot, but she puts both of her hands, like she kind of clasps the two of your hands together, and she kind of holds them together with hers, and she just smiles, and she said, and looks straight into Gwen's eyes, both of them, even the evil one, and says, "Thank you."
I hope it brings you some bit of comfort that when Rosh is not with you, he's with me.
As long as you bring them back to visit every now and then.
I suppose that.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just say, I suppose there are people out there looking for us. We probably shouldn't be gone too long.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say, like, is this the first time Rosh has like expressed anything of this nature in their entire life?
Like romance?
Yeah, like any childhood little crushes or anything? Because this seems like it might be the first time, but I don't know.
I think it's the first time that they have ever expressed loving somebody in that way.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there have been little childhood crushes and stuff, but nothing like serious.
Right. So she Uline's before you go, Uline is going to clasp Gwen's face with both hands, so, like, squeezing a little bit on the cheeks, and it's like, okay, calm down. And she says, "You must be very special, and I'm very much looking forward to getting to know everything about you."
Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, she's actually going to release your face. Your face is once again yours. You are no longer grappled. And she will pick a blossom from one of the cactus, and she'll give it to you.
It's very beautiful.
So are you.
Put it somewhere safe. I don't know.
She wraps around her wrist in the corsage. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, so zoom. Let's go forward a couple days. I don't know that we need to play out the conversation with Ramon. I think Ramon's just gonna say, like, write down your account, and we'll slow drip this information over time. I think Ramon's like, this is a lot at once. Let's just all enjoy the resurrection for now. Let's ride on this for a bit, and then we'll like kind of, include these other bits of your account, like a slow drip moving on. I think that's his assessment of it.
Rosh is okay with it as long as people find out, but Rosh will avoid having conversations with people about it.
Yes. So I think as long if y'all are in a rush, then there can be like a couple days. Like there's going to be a few days of like kind of partying. The kids are being looked after. Vincent. I think. The conditioning will take time, but there are. They can be talked to if you want to. You probably won't get a ton of them. You're not going to get game information from them, but if you want to role play that, we can do that.
I don't know if Vincent would go and speak with them yet. He'd probably try and observe. I don't know if they have, one-way mirror setups here, but
of course they do.
Yeah, and every good church has an interrogation room, but
exactly.
But no.
Well, it's not unlike a confessional booth, I guess.
Yeah, but I think for now, just observing from a distance until
I don't know.
he can be, as assured it's possible that any conditioning is removed, but and this may be a scene to do later, but at some point Vincent would try to reach out and have a conversation with Sandiel, his spiritual guide, and see, talk about all this new stuff with them.
Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do, kind of not instead, but adjacent to that. I'm gonna say that you put Drew on the data dump that you got. From that, you learned, let's see, is it 3 things or 2 things? You rolled really well. I know 2 things for sure, so I'll just talk about those. And I can't remember what the 3rd thing was at the moment, but I will get you if it comes up. So first, you find the schematics on the arc drive. You already had the schematics, but you kind of a little bit more about the way that they were at least thinking that they might manufacture them. You specifically heard or read a reference to the planet called Arthanax, which is actually, I think I might have brought this up before. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. But anyway, it is a planet that is just a planet-wide shipyard. All they do is make ships all day. It's mass producing all day, constantly. And it's another planet that Ocelot runs, where generally speaking, they tend to take indigenous species and genetically modify them to where they do a certain task in perpetuity. So this planet Arthanax is where the shipyard is, where they were planning on building this engine. And you also learn, you see some kind of, it looks like, like a USPS, when you see how packages like different transits, when a package just goes here to there, you can see these paths that certain items have been shipped throughout the galaxy. These items in question are actually others of you, Vincent. You see where your bros and sisters from your generation have been shipped. And one significant one, I guess. Well, they're all significant, but see one that went to the planet Carpathia. Which is a heavily it is basically like the whole planet is a city. Lots of corporate headquarters are based there. You see that one of the units has been issued there as a bodyguard of one of the someone in upper management of Ocelot. And this Nova has been placed as a bodyguard of this a CEO and these notes are so old. I wrote this stuff like 3 years ago, so you'll have to forgive me. I believe Akami is the CEO of Ocelot. And I don't remember what the third thing was, but I will give you a third thing. You also found schematics for a gravity well grenade. And I will get the mechanics of how this works in a bit, but essentially think of Zarya's ult. You can pull people within a zone together, and that should make AoEs easier. Basically. So, that is what you found.
Is eventually going to tell the others, but not going to interrupt the our profits back festivities to be like, hey, this is some pressing stuff. And maybe if it's just like, one evening as Drew is relaying this information, it's like, oh, we've got this much, and maybe another tidbit the next day. And
yeah. Cool. So we'll say that. I mean, do you all? Does anyone stay on the ship, or like Rosh? Do you stay at your mom's house, or do you all? What do you do? Like, I'm curious.
I mean, yeah, Rosh would probably stay with Uline. I assume she's got some extra space there.
She's got a futon. That's space futon for sure. I don't know the return, like the god, like return god baby. It's like Link put it on the futon.
Would invite Gwen to stay there too. I think there's also plenty of space within the temple for people to stay if they don't want to stay on the ship, but obviously everyone has their space on the ship.
You're super determined to have me fielding questions from your mom, huh?
Okay, I gotta channel momness big time for this. Okay, so is that what Gwen does?
I mean, she's not just gonna like ignore her. Like, yeah, she'll go.
So she's going to the house.
She'll stay there.
All right. So there is a guest room, which Gwen gets. Rosh is not allowed to be in there though. Rosh gets the couch. And
okay, Mom.
Yeah, and Mom is a real light sleeper, so like, don't try creeping around at night because she will wake up in her bathrobe and slippers, and she'll just be like, like the way they do in the. What are you doing up? Anyway, again projecting.
When did this become a rom-com?
I know. I mean, honestly, like I think session 2, but but yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's like a specific scene. I think that's fine for now. But maybe after a couple days that you all like kind of, Vincent, if you want to call people to the ship for a TTR meeting.
I mean, I think it's probably trying to do what he can. It's not quite full on, red string conspiracy theory, but mapping out like, okay, here's, this planet, Arthanax, and here's Carpathia, and, does it even make sense for us to try and go to one? And could we even, disrupt all of Ocelot's operations on Arthanax? Is that even a hornet's nest we want to deal with, or do we need to focus on Children of Volhai? So I think if any of you come back to the ship, you might actually have to stop Vincent from setting up red string on the walls of the TTR, but
yeah,
it's getting there.
I'm not going to stop him. That seems like a thing Gwen would encourage him to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take this, but like make it like 3-dimensional. So there's like a 3D holographic projection of like the galaxy. Like they're either like real strings or that you've like are hanging up, or digital that you're like connecting things, and there's like a very bizarre structure within that looks like some messed up DNA.
It started in the real, but then I realized that was too limiting. I needed 3 dimensions.
Yeah. And there's a 4th dimension, but we can't really see it at the moment. We can only see it in the moment, I guess.
Given that shipping information, we could map out like, okay, they started here at the kitchen and then showing, spreading out across the universe. And so I think trying to do what research on each of these locations that we can from here, and however much access to the net that Jamach Mandir gets.
Okay.
But also trying to use a VPN so it bounces around.
Okay. All right. So this is sounding like we're angling towards a roll here. What are you trying to achieve exactly right now?
Starting with, what information is publicly available about Arthanax, Carpathia, and the other locations that the rest of Vin's siblings got sent to.
Okay. So for the different locations where some of your siblings have been sent, they seem like they've been going to safeguard something that seems to be important to Ocelot. Of like maybe it's another facility, maybe it's a supply route, but most of them seem to be as personal security for upper management. Arthanax, you actually, in studying about that, you realize that, and I'm pretty sure I've said this before, at some time in the last 2.5 years, maybe not, but that is where help is from originally. It is a planet basically full of formic creatures that which is a term I'm borrowing from Ender's Game. I don't know if that's actually like a real thing, but they just diligently slap together ships all day. They get massive mineral deposits transported there that they refine into ores and different building materials, and they construct these ships and then send them on their way. So that is what you know about it at the moment.
And then, like I said, at some point try and have the spiritual conversation with Sandile, but that might be a scene to happen later.
Oh, that was the third thing. That was the third thing. So got a free gravity grenade out of it. Nice. So you read through all these like text blocks and like collected like digital uploads and 3D scanned items, and you see the skeleton of this thing that was there and is like kind of projected and swirling around you with all these notes that are kind of like tool tipped out of it as like all the notes that the scientists have made on it. The angel that fell there, the scientists named it Sendael. Yeah, you do see that it was that based on the skeleton, they believed that it was female. That it was from not necessarily like from origin beyond this plane, and they were very interested in the bones and the DNA of these remains because they seem to be attuned to and be able to access that liminal space that's tied with arc energies. So that's why they're very interested in it. And Sandeo is no more in a certain sense, and hasn't ever been in that one sense, but also she is your mom in a very real sense. And there seems to be, even though she doesn't seem to have been alive for the birthing of you, there is still a connection between you and her, and presumably with all the children. But the more memories that you unlock, the more difficult it is to actually find her again in your mind.
I imagine the first attempt to try and contact is unsuccessful, so then I think Vincent will seek help in meditation practice from someone at Chamachamandir.
Awesome. Let's do what kind of thing? Wisdom saving throw? That's saving throw is not correct, but we'll do it that way anyway.
Okay. Ggameknights of Chaos for the advantage.
Good to know.
Staying on the ship as much as possible. Okay, that gives me a 21.
Okay.
Better than the 8 it would have been.
Yeah, well, you're definitely, yeah, you're, oh no. No, my mic is still working, but my headphones are out. Yeah, so you managed to, like, with practice and with magical help, you are able to meditate and clear your mind, and you are able to re-access the face of Sandale once again. You see it very clearly in your mind, but it seems almost this seems creepy, but the way that you're receiving it's not creepy. Just like basically you see the skeleton standing before you and her face is over it, and it doesn't come off like creepy zombie. It just, like, to you in this moment of where your mind is at, and it just and eventually the rest of what you're imagining is that the rest of her begin to like fill out over the skeleton, and she's sitting at the bottom of that pit in the mountain, kind of almost cross-legged, looking down at you in this vision.
Well, I don't know that I ever expected you to be my mom, but I guess you are? Did you know about this, or are you only just kind of learning the things that I'm learning too?
Yeah, I'm kind of learning whatever you're learning.
Okay,
I'm
well,
part of your imagination in some ways, Vincent.
I mean, I guess on one level that's kind of disappointing because I always thought of you as this, you know, other being out there who had knowledge, had identity outside of myself, but it's also, I guess, now I can have a more complete and accurate picture of who you are.
I mean, there's a whole me out there. That's gonna take a lot more to bring that back, Vincent.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that your remains are still there, and it's an ass planet, so it's not like they're going to degrade or nothing. But I also imagine if Ocelot had been able to move you, they would have done so. So
No, you know this. They wanted to keep things as they were. They were too worried about messing something up in the transit.
yeah. Obviously, we got a lot on our plate right now, but might be able to swing back and see if we can do something at some point. But
Well, I'll just be chilling, Vincent. That's a mom joke for you.
yeah, I don't suppose you know who my sort of dad is then, or if it's just like they cloned you and then made some of the clones guys.
Yeah, from what I understand, that was it. So, I'm kind of your dad too, I guess.
I do wonder how much the others are gonna have the connection to you. I mean, I guess you won't be able to be in their minds and then talk back to me, but they might have what I've got with you, and because that's kind of comforting for them.
Well, you're different, Vincent. They all came from me, just like you did. But there's something different about you. Your connection with magic. Well, there's no one else like you.
I don't think the universe could handle more than one of me. It would just tear itself apart.
I think you're right.
Do you mean that literally? Like, if any of the other clones develop my kind of magic, we're gonna have some, universe-wide apocalyptic shit going on?
Oh, I really hope we don't get to that point and find out. But no, I don't think they've sired a couple generations, and you're the only one like you. I think that's why you're able to get away in the first place, really. Something different about the way your mind works.
I just gotta decide now. Obviously I want to help my siblings, but the aforementioned all the other stuff to do, and just got to decide what to do and when. I mean, I'm sure the others would be willing to help, but like I said, got to figure out priorities.
Well, I think you just do what you think is important. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Just follow what you think is important. And you'll have no cause for regret.
I think my brain's starting to hurt if I think too much about if you're really just a part of me and I knew that advice, and am I giving me that advice? I'm just going to imagine that it's you giving me the advice and that you came up with that and has some motherly wisdom.
If that helps. I don't know if you've managed to get out in therapy, Vincent, but usually it's just people telling you what you already know, but that you still need to hear.
Yeah, helps to hear it again and from other sources.
Well, anytime.
This is going to be a weird addition to my conspiracy projection. Just going to be big old mom scrawled up there now. That's going to be fun to explain to the others.
Well, I wish I could explain it myself. But things happen.
Now they do. That's been the story of my life.
Despite that, you've done some pretty amazing things, Vincent.
In all senses of the word.
In all senses of the word. So, sounds like you have a lot to think about.
That I do.
Well, I won't be talking your ear off anymore then. If you ever need some more advice, just reach out. And I'll help you see the answers you already have.
That'd be nice.
Good luck, Vincent.
Thank you. Now, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to go try and find somewhere, unoccupied before I maybe blow up. Used a lot of my magic to make this happen.
Okay. All right. On that note, we'll take a break. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back shortly. Well, hi everyone. Welcome back to part 2 of tonight's episode of Wildspace. I'm your host, Ryan. This is Savannah, Sean, and Alex. And we're having some fun tonight. Before we hop back in, does anyone want to talk about anything? Just on your mind? No? Okay. I know, yeah. Alex, you just hit 200 followers on Twitter recently. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna talk about that more at the sign off at the end, but I'm doing a silly art thing on Twitter, so
Well, yeah, I definitely want to give it some chance at the middle of the episode as well as the end, just in case someone doesn't make it all the way to the end. They shouldn't miss out on this glorious opportunity to get, I would say, the 21st century Picasso doing it. What are you sniffing at? Stop it. Doing the rendition of whatever you can imagine, existential Sonic, or Kirby, who just isn't putting the effort and work anymore. You know, any kind of like art that you can imagine, uh, Alex can bring it to life before your very eyes. So, and also follow him on Twitter at OMG, it's some guy at twitter.com.
That's Cooper using voice commands to
I know.
get on and follow me.
Hey, what are you barking at? He's looking at nothing.
He's just so excited.
You all talk about other announcements while I see what he's barking at.
Do we have any other announcements?
You've got your games.
Yeah, I have stuff on other channels. Yeah, hi, hello everyone. I'm Savvy. I'm not always, I mean, I'm always on this channel, but when I'm not on this channel, I have 2 other games. You can catch one of them tomorrow. It's on Friday afternoons at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's called Diesel Punks. It's Apocalypse World, and I run it, and we're running it for 4 more weeks. And then on Monday nights for, I don't know, the next, like, 12 or 13 weeks or so, I'm on twitch.tv/CobaltPress playing D&D using their new Deep Magic Grimoire. It's fun. Our last episode was very emotional. You can watch the VOD on the Twitch page. Ryan's back.
I am. Fantastic. So, TTR meeting, anyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
TTR.
All right. I will let you all commence as well. We can start the scene where Vin with this kind of kaleidoscopic cat with yarn sort of madness going on, strewn all about this holographic space as the other 2 of you enter.
So I have to get that recipe from. Ooh. What the hell is going on in here?
Yeah, I've been a little busy. You know, it's when I'm not out there at the feasts and stuff. Been going through the data dump that Drew processed, and there's been a lot.
It would appear so.
Yeah. Let's see. Found out about my family and my dead mother. Found out, you know, some of the other stuff Ocelot's been up to, and Gravity Grenade. Those are the highlights.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get into more detail as you need, but basically, Big John Skeleton in the pit was, you know, where they got the genetic material to make me and all my siblings, and that was the Angel Sandael, who is, for all intents and purposes, my mother. Most definitely dead, but because of my kind of magic, still got some kind of connection to not quite her soul, but the manifestation of her within me. I mean, she said she was basically my imagination, which doesn't sound great on the outside, but
Right. I mean, it all makes perfect sense to me, based on everything we've already dealt with. So that.
Thought you weren't allowed to lie.
No, I'm not. That might have sounded like sarcasm, but I can assure you that I am incapable of sarcasm. I know, really, it's with everything that I've learned about myself, that sounds perfectly plausible. So where does that leave us with the engine and...
Yeah, I think I've got some potential leads on where we can go to get materials. I mean, they were planning on getting up to the point of producing this at their giant shipyard planet, Arthnax, which is also where help is from.
Oh. So we could deal with our own issue of getting the materials and being able to manufacture one of these drives to get back into the Uval sector, and also deal the blow to Ocelot to keep them from doing things to help people.
Yeah, and I mean, this might be a sort of thing where, we function as a strike team and then maybe let the tails take it from there, because I mean, it's the whole dang planet where they're doing
Right.
this.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
I wouldn't assume we could deal with all of it in one go, but at least same thing with we did on the last planet.
Yeah, which I would like to go back and visit at some point, but that with all this new information and the stuff we already were dealing with, gotta figure out our priorities. But yeah, in addition to that, found out that most of my siblings have been sent around the galaxy to function as personal security for Ocelot. So we may or may not run into one or more of them at Arthanax. Depends on really who, if there are going to be any Ocelot bigwigs there. But yeah, I mean, if we do want to get this arc drive functional, that seems like the place for us to go.
We need to find somebody to construct it for us, or if we enter the facility, get the materials we need. Do you think you can put it together?
Maybe me and help. Maybe we get some more help's kind. I mean, it's going to be a question of if help wants to go back to that. I mean, they are essentially being used as slave labor there.
Well, even more reason for us to stop it. Sounds like a good plan. So same thing as before. Get close enough to survey the situation and then go in guns blazing.
Certainly an approach, yeah. This is the last place we went to was an Ocelot black side. This one is very clearly belongs to Ocelot, and so there are probably going to be more defenses. And on the one hand, it might be easier to get closer to, but it'll be a bit of a different situation if we do go in on the offensive.
Well, we can come up with a plan to infiltrate. I guess it just assumes on how much of a montage this is going to be.
Exactly. Sure you don't mean collage? I mean, that's kind of what I was going for with this aesthetic here.
No, it's a new god power I have to skip the minutia of any detail planning and just skip to the fun parts.
Rosh OP, please nerf. I don't know, what do you think, Gwen?
I mean, I think we can only make so much of a plan until we see the place. I also think that last week we found out that Rosh is a literal god, and this week we found out you're descended from an angel, and I'm sort of terrified to find out whose turn it's going to be next week.
Well, I mean, it's either you or Malo.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
I mean, you kind of were connected to a god before. Well, a demon god thing that we killed.
Yeah, so for the first 60 or so years of my life, I'm almost positive I was just an elf. I don't know. Maybe I'll sprout horns or something.
Well, to make up for the teeth you lost, not going to be able to really bite people. I mean, you could, but probably not going to do much more than weird them out.
It's alright, the sword works. So, off we go.
I mean, have you stuck around long enough? I mean, I'm sure your people would love to have you here longer, but
We've been here for a couple days now, right? As much as I'd like to spend more time, they understand that we have things that we need to do. And I'm sure we'll be back soon. I'll go say my goodbyes, and we'll leave as soon as we're ready.
All right, so just as a recap, the plan is to go to scout out Arthanax and see if that's a place that you can, the best way to infiltrate. Okay. Yeet. So, here's, I'm gonna say in the process of your scouting ahead, and I'm sure you can also like check in with some tails like agents to kind of get an idea of Ocelot's security systems, everything. You know that there is a kind of satellite facility that scans incoming traffic towards the planet, incoming and outgoing interstellar traffic. And you will, if you want to get close to Arthanax without the whole facility like shutting down, you'll need to disable this advanced warning system there. So there is it's basically like it's a space station. It's not enormous. It's not like a city or anything. It's probably I mean, it's like an office building. You know what I mean? Like, probably a couple dozen people inside, that sort of thing. But that is orbiting around with these large, like, satellite arrays and everything. What is your approach to get towards this facility and disable it?
Am I remembering wrong that we had some sort of stealth thing on the Arcturus? Or we just talked about that at some point?
I don't think you have one.
Okay.
You did talk about it, but I don't.
Talking about that.
yeah, not seeing anything in the Arcturus sheet. Though I am seeing that did we ever figure out what was up with that death mask that we got?
Yeah, Travis had it. He might not have like forwarded it to anyone else. I can look it up on the old thing. That's not going to help you in the situation, but I will track it down.
It's like, oh yeah, we have this creepy mask chilling in the cargo bay.
So let me track that down real quick. But so here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say actually, Vincent, with the data dump that you have, I think that you were able to find some. Why can I not? Let me see the external journal, please. It's not loading. Anyway, you ever like see like these like the delivery schedules that they went around? There was like a supply run that went by this one outer relay, and you think that maybe that you could dupe this identification of a carrier that would go there and maybe spoof that ID so you could get close to this situation, just in the Arcturus, and trick this facility in thinking that you're a resupply run.
So I imagine that's going to be our best bet, or we go with the backup plan that we also had before of, oh no, our ship's been damaged. Can we land here and get help? Someday we're going to make use of that plan and it's going to save us, but I think this spoofing the ID is probably a safer bet.
Yes, I agree.
I leave that up to you. That's far beyond my expertise.
I mean, expertise is stretching it, but I should be able to figure it out.
So we pretend to be another ship, get inside, try to subtly navigate through the facility.
Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine they'd have much of a security force, and well, yeah, they're working for us a lot. It's hopefully we can figure out a way to do it without just taking everyone on the station out. But I mean, maybe we can just threaten them with, grievous bodily harm, and they'll let us smash their machines. If subterfuge doesn't work.
I mean, I have to imagine that most people will flee if this isn't really a facility meant for this sort of incursion.
We just have to figure out how to keep them from alerting the main planet.
Now, the information we need is on the planet or in the facility?
The planet. This facility is sort of the lookout post, and if they see someone who's coming who's not supposed to be there, they'll send something, and the whole planet will go into lockdown.
All right. Well, we just have to hope the spoofing holds up, that we can make it to the planet without anybody noticing.
Yeah, I suppose we could see if maybe we could spoof an ID of delivery to the planet itself.
Or we stop at the facility briefly enough to, I don't know, take another vessel and make it down to the facility to the planet side that way.
Maybe. I don't imagine this relay facility is the kind to have ships there waiting.
If you think it'd be possible, I mean, us stopping at the facility itself seems like that would be a large amount of risk.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to double check through the data dump, see what I think I can spoof, if it's just something that'll let us get to the relay station, and then we go in, smash their machines, or if I can scrounge up an ID that'll let us send them a signal and pass on through the Arthanax. Voice in the sky, what am I able to find? You're muted in Zoom.
So can you share with me your plan exactly?
So my understanding was I found something to spoof an ID for a resupply ship to the the relay station, the advanced warning station. Then we could maybe get in there, somehow disable their means of alerting Arthanax itself. But the other idea is if we can find an ID to spoof that will let us pretend to be a ship that's supposed to be going straight to Arthanax, we can just ping that to the relay station, go on past, and not have to deal with whatever crew is at the relay station.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can roll for your success rate there for sure.
Okay.
We'll do What will this be? This is also kind of like the tech roll, so Arcana Ent.
I always forget because I think Gwen is smart but not Arcana trained.
Yeah, I'm just not proficient in Arcana. My intelligence is an 18 though.
Okay, but I think my Arcana bonus is +7 compared to.
Yeah, it's more than one.
Okay, so rolling that. That's gonna be a 16.
Okay. I mean, you think you can find? You think you kind of understand the code sequence for what they're expecting for these shipment runs of the different ores. So I think with a 16, maybe you think that, I don't know, like you might, if they scan the ship, you might need to have a good amount of whatever you're supposed to have been shipping there
Mm-hmm.
in the ship. So if you're all willing to spend some money and picking up a good amount of raw materials, not bank breaking stuff, but good amount of money, you can do that. You can go straight to the planet, spend 8,000 gold to load up the hull with a specific mineral.
We're always quasi-joking about working the mines on Chamachamandir. Do they have? I don't suppose they've got that ore on hand in abundance.
No, it's not a mining asteroid.
All your brothers and
resources
sisters would like sit on their face like.
No, our resources are limited to what people bring to trade on site, so nothing like that. I don't think we have anywhere near that amount of gold, though.
Do you really not? I thought y'all were rich.
Keep
but maybe not.
spending it on stuff.
I mean, I have like 2,500 gold or something, but
Okay.
I
I thought y'all had like a. What would you all spend all your money on?
Well, okay, I have diamonds that I have for like components for stuff. I have $2,500. I have 1,500 gold worth of diamonds, and like 300 gold.
I mean, you can try to like load up the ship with less.
So our other option, just to understand, is just to go to the facility, try to shut it down.
Mm-hmm. So
maybe we just do that then.
So you can go to the facility. I mean, the thing is, like, what you buy to put in your ship, you could like sell it again and get rid of it. But it's just mainly like, it's not like the money's gone forever necessarily, unless you lose that stuff. It's just like that. If you want to try to skip the relay, you're gonna have to have like an extra added layer of anti-security.
So how much gold do we have between the three of us? Because I've 300. Gwen, you have 2,500.
I thought you all had like 40 grand at one point.
I have 2,600.
I guess
plus like silver.
Maybe I'll spend it.
Yeah, I have 200 gold. I feel like we had a big expensive shopping episode towards the end of the last time.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we bought because all my stuff is stuff that I've gotten. I think we might have used it to upgrade the ship or repair the ship or something at some point.
Yeah, you spent a good 10 grand in the ship or 7,500 in the ship or something like that. Anyway, it's not that important to keep looking into it. It might just be that my perception of what y'all had was very different than what you all really had. But the ship itself is worth almost 30, so maybe that's why I was like, I had this like as if you were going to sell your ship. Of course you're not going to sell your ship, so like I don't know.
Our net value is a lot. Our liquid assets, not so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. I think that's what I'm starting to realize now. My bad.
Well, it's been a while since we did anything, you know, for the money.
Yeah.
I know. Y'all are, as far as like, you're not the best capitalists. We'll say that.
I mean, our big bad right now is hyper capitalism.
Yep.
But
We just need to start stealing some stuff when we go to these awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we did steal. The thing is, we just haven't done anything with the stuff we stole from the last.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
true.
If you sold the thing that you had, you would be very rich.
okay, here's an idea. Rosh is made of diamond now, right? Just start chipping away at them and sell
Little
it
bit at a
across
time.
the universe.
Because you can heal yourself, dude. Are you a diamond mine? Is that like an infinite diamond?
But are they inherently blood diamonds?
I do have the spell regenerate.
Just like cut off your arm, grow a new one.
I can just, I could cut off some fingers, legs, tails, so I'm restored after 2 minutes.
Gonna sell them. That's like religious icons.
I mean, hey, they did that in history.
Yeah.
And those weren't even made of diamonds.
Nope.
And
just
they couldn't grow theirs
bones.
back.
Well, that decreases the value, though.
But they won't
They don't-
know that until after we've saturated the market.
Yeah, true.
Hey,
Then we
I've
can
got
just-
Rochel's left thumb. Hey, I've got Rochel's left thumb.
Let's
Wait a
just do
minute.
that, and then we just buy Ocelot. Done. I fixed it.
I feel like if we start defrauding my the followers of my religion, it sort of loses the whole point of all of this.
Were we having this conversation in character?
I assume so.
This is after one of the feasts where there was alcohol involved.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to grow your fingers back?
About 2 minutes.
Is that all?
I can only do it for like once a day, though.
Yeah.
Are there somatic components to, or like to regenerate? Because like, do you need fingers to be able to cast it?
Well, guess we're going with your toes then.
there are somatic components. As long as I keep one of my hands, then I can do the other one, right?
All right, fair.
Or I'll just cut off a leg, yeah. But there are no material components besides a prayer wheel and holy water, which there are no value for. So I just need my holy symbol to do that.
Gotcha.
So, how much do organs go for? Could I regenerate? Could we start selling some kidneys and we just regenerate?
All right, so what I'm hearing is y'all don't want to have a encounter on the satellite. You want to have it on the planet. Cool.
Sure.
If we can
Okay.
swing that.
We can have it on the planet. That is fine.
Ryan's just like, I want you guys to fight something. Let's stop
Yeah,
doing this.
it's
This
like
is
it really
stupid."
doesn't matter to me where it is. It's fine. I'll figure it out. On a second. I didn't think that we'd get to the planet already. So I have art for it, but it's not actually loaded in, and it's not on this computer.
We can just do the satellite. You can just say we can't get to the planet. You're the GM.
You fly to the planet, hit the atmosphere, and bounce all the way back to the satellite. No. We'll do it this way. That's fun. Let me just look at this thing real quick. Yeah, that thing's cool. All right, so we'll go to Arthenex. And I'll bring you all there. And there's nothing there. But let me just 1 second. Actually, y'all can have like in-character combos about how you'd like to approach this if you like. I kind of want to grab the art from my laptop and I'll throw it on. I'll be so. It's important to
Okay.
me. I'm sorry.
Well, so if we are going straight to Arthanax, it's gonna depend, how much we're able to sneak in, or if we do need to kind of do a hit and run.
I could have something prepared to get us out quickly again, but again, that limits the amount of healing I can do when somebody inevitably gets very, very hurt. Actually, what I can go ahead and do is burn some spell slots for like temporary HP and some stuff too while we're getting ready. But I don't know if I should wait for Ryan.
Maybe.
Because I was going to cast Aid on everyone, and then I was going to use Prayer of Resolve to give everyone some temp HP.
How much temp HP is it?
It is... depends on the level I cast it at. At second level, it's 1d10 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. So...
Okay.
maximum of 15, minimum of 6.
Okay.
If I do it like a third or fourth level, if I do it at a higher level, I gain a 1d10 for each one above.
Does it get more than one person?
Yeah, I can do up to 6 people.
Oh, okay.
That's not concentration or anything.
Nope. No. Just takes a minute to cast.
I was asking because I can cast Armor of Agathis on myself at a 3rd level. Which is 15.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll do
stream
a
the
couple.
art has been found.
I also only have 2 spell slots, but again, I don't use them for that many things.
Well, here's what I'll do in getting ready for this. If it's all right, can I do some like ritual spells and things to buff people before we get to the planet, Ryan?
Hi. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna do a 5th level aid, so everybody gets 20 hit points added to their maximum.
Okay.
I'm gonna do ritually cast Gift of Luck on Gwen. That's the thing where you get 3 times. You can re-roll.
Oh shit!
You can you can roll with advantage. And then I'm gonna do a 3rd level Prayer of Resolve on everyone. So everyone gets 16 temporary hit points.
Dang, dude. Alright, so there's not a good way to mark on the sheet like a temporary increase of maximum hit points.
Yeah.
And
I just
so
wrote
I'm
plus
nervous
20.
about changing Milo's sheet just in case this whatever happens doesn't end and he comes back like next weekend.
Well, I can only do 8 on 3 people, so.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I don't do it on Milo.
Okay, but does Milo get those temp HP?
He would get the temp HP. I can do
All
it
right,
to 6.
That I've thrown onto a sheet then, so
Okay.
We don't have to remember that.
I do
Cool.
have Winter Milo, and he's like, okay, I guess I don't get aid.
My God. Of course I don't get aid.
So he's not with us.
aid anyway.
He's just staying in his room.
I'm gonna stay in my room and just chill because I'm Winter Milo.
All right. Well, hopefully all that preemptive healing helps. He
Yeah.
will not die so quick.
All right, excellent. So,
All told, I have 188 hit points right now.
Doing my job.
Jeez Louise.
Ryan increases the encounter by 1 CR.
I'm leaving it as it is, which I think is too high, but it'll be fine. Probably. As you all lower yourselves into the atmosphere of Arthenex, it's foggy, orange horizon. You see a sprawling network of scaffolding below. Metal, skeletal buildings stretching up from the rocky grounds below. There isn't much lights. There's not like a lot of unlike other cityscapes, there's not much illumination. Just a bit as the kind of sun reflects off these gleaming metal surfaces. You see kind of half-built ships sitting up above the surface as you kind of lower yourself down using this spoofed signal or ID to drop off your quote-unquote cargo. As you begin to approach the surface, Vyncent bringing up the landing gear for the Arcturus. You want to roll a surge for me?
Gotta get 2 sets now. Okay, that was a 42 and a 96. Let me see what they are. 96. As a large amount of dirty laundry appears in a heap on the ground before you. While the smell is unpleasant, the mound is large enough to provide half cover. And then 42 is you begin sneezing uncontrollably. No spells can be cast until the fit passes for 1d6 rounds. I think I got that one last time too, but let's go with the laundry, and it just like appears in the cockpit's co-pilot seat.
Yeah, it's pretty yeah. As you kind of like skid to a halt, laundry appears beside you with skid marks all around them, and it is not the best smell that begins to fill the cockpit. But you have landed.
I don't recognize those clothes. I don't know where they came from. I hope I didn't just magically steal someone's laundry.
Can we deal with that later?
Yeah, I just cast a quick prestidigitation to try and lessen the smell.
Yeah.
I'll burn it.
Kind of help goes like, do you want me to wash these?
We might as well.
All right. Help begins to gather up the laundry to wash them, because there is a washing machine on this ship. I never thought about it before, but there is. All right, so you're landing on the planet. What do you want to do?
Assuming based on the data dump, we were able to find where on the planet the components we would need are being held.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully got as close to that as possible.
Yeah. So is this going to be, what's your plan? To grab the stuff and go, or try to get the engine built here, or how do you want to approach this?
It's probably a lot safer for us to grab stuff and go, right, guys?
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think trying to build it here would be too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we could have maybe asked, because help communicates by pheromones, if we could have maybe gotten them to like put a message in a jar in a bottle for us to, if we find others like him, and be like, these are good people, help them, maybe come with them. I don't know if the pheromones even work like that.
I really like that. I'm trying to think if that's. I like the idea of it. You could just have help come with you if you want.
That could even work as a cover of, we are following this creature, it's taking us somewhere.
I think that's a good idea.
All right. So, help is like loading laundry into the washing machine, and kind of approach like, "Oh, you know what? Can you actually stop that and help us out with this mission?" And or however you want to say it. I was like, "All right."
I also, this may be going backwards a bit, but we would have talked with help on the way here of like, we're going to the planet you came from. There are going to be others like you, but they're, slaves to us a lot. How does help feel about that? What are help's thoughts on the issue?
Um, okay. All right. So now I'm remembering these things that I've planned to do like 3 years ago. And I'm trying to think like how to include these. So help us quiet for a little bit. He's like, if we're going to go to Orthonex, we should try. Do I want to introduce this whole storyline? I'm so torn because I thought about this years ago and I'm like, plot's already confusing enough. Like I don't need to add more things into it. But I will be true to it. This existed, so I'm gonna say it. If we can find the queen, and find the queen egg, we can take that off planet before Ocelot gets it. Before Ocelot can control everything.
We can, yeah.
It'd really do me a solid.
Do you have any idea where it would be?
Just a few leagues from here.
What is this exactly?
The way Ocelot controls everyone here is through the queens. If we can get one of the queens and raise it outside of their influence, we could start to wrest control away from Ocelot.
Alright, so find one of these eggs while we're down there, bring it with us, and you would raise it?
I could find a suitable planet for it, yes.
don't see any reason why we can't do that while we're down there.
We can try.
Yeah, I mean, if Ocelot knows that the queens are this important, they may have security, not to mention, I can't imagine the queens are just going to let us walk in and take an egg, even if you are there to vouch for us.
No, they won't be happy about that.
So I guess that brings up the question of what do we try and go for first? Do we try and get the components? Or do we go for the egg first?
I have a thought. I can start to gather the components and bring them onto the Arcturus. The three of you feel like can search out one of the eggs. I probably wouldn't be that much useful there anyway. With queens are persuasive.
I'm loath to let you leave the ship at all.
What if we have Milo accompany him? And Milo's got his little portable speeder that he can use to get to us in a pinch if we need him.
Right.
I mean, Rosh, you might need to use some of your new god power to get rid of the, the minutia in between scenes, make that work, but
I think Milo stays here to keep an eye on help. The two of them load up as much as they can. We, as quickly as possible, find this egg, bring it back, and leave together.
Fine.
We will find what we need for the engine. Don't worry.
Okay. Just be safe.
We will try to be. All right. So, the party splits. And Rosh, Gwen, and Alex.
Alex, who are you?
hi guys.
Oh
Hi.
no, we accidentally brought one of the clones instead of Vincent.
Oh no! Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing for me. I'm sorry. Yes, three of you make your way. How do you want to make your way across? You see like lots of helps all around wearing like very different kinds of spacesuits, but wearing like spacesuits and like constantly moving back and forth, moving quickly, building, carrying supplies, having little soldering guns like everywhere, the way that people always do in spaceships.
We can just try and act like we belong. There might be enough going on that they can't even really take the time to question us, and if we do, sure, there's the language barrier, but I can be convincing.
I have almost nothing to help me move subtly, so I say, Vincent, you take point. We'll try to look as inconspicuous as possible.
And you don't say anything, Roshel.
Stay quiet.
There is also the possibility, though. Don't recall seeing it too much in the info dump that one of my siblings ended up here, and so that could be a story that I'll roll with, and you all are extra help I hired on.
I at least look the part.
Roshal's got the gear for it.
You're a bit shiny.
I'll just be the strong, silent type in the back.
A difficult task, I'm sure. Alright.
Yeah.
Let's go. If
Now,
it doesn't work, I'll threaten to kill them.
Yeah, I will bring up this point again. My passive deception is 25.
If it doesn't work, I carry 3 swords.
Yeah.
And a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And a crossbow. I think that's
It's
it.
very difficult to use all of those at the same time.
It's less about that and more about giving people options for how they want to die.
It's very generous. Excellent. So, as you make your way through this world, I think because you landed near. So, do you want to? Would Milo let you borrow the speeder? Because you're actually farther away from where the eggs are than the materials. Or do you want to give Milo an option to like get to you quickly?
I think leave him the speeder.
Okay.
So
So
I
you
could
just
create a blazing chariot for
Oh
us.
god, I
but that
forgot
would...
about that.
Yes. Do you want a blazing chariot?
No.
Go. Yes.
Too
Sean.
inconspicuous.
Sean, do you want a blazing chariot?
Can you make a regular
do wanna-
chariot? A regular chariot that's not blazing.
No, has
It's
to
just
be
a chariot.
blazing.
It's a chariot with just
Have
pillars
to
of
call
smoke
upon
coming
the
out of it.
I have to call upon the might of the angels to conjure a flaming chariot made of gold and mithril.
We should not do that here.
Golden mithril. Oh my god.
Not even a thing.
That's so over the top. Okay, so you all hoof it, and if like there's you could try to like steal a speeder or something like that, or borrow it if you wish. No, you can just walk
Do you guys
it.
want to?
That's fine.
I'll try to snag one.
It may be beneficial to have.
I'm
for-
gonna.
Wait,
I
go for
will
it.
steal a speeder.
Okay. I will have you do a. It's not sleight of hand. I will say stealth plus. No, wait, that's not how this works. I was gonna add 2 skills together. We'll do stealth plus int.
Okay.
Don't forget about the gift of luck I gave you.
I'm considering using one of them. Let's do it. I'm gonna roll with advantage. Save the other 2 for stabbing. Woo! 23.
Yeah, you're able to
The other one was a
very
2.
quickly crack this the mechanism for starting up this speeder and untether it from its mooring station and kind of beckon the other 2 to it's time to go, get on, and they plop themselves in and then begin heading your way towards the queen eggs.
And then we have a conversation about where Gwen learned to hotwire a car.
Yeah, let's hear it. Nope.
No, well, she doesn't say anything.
Okay.
So where did you learn to hotwire a car?
It's been a long 6 months. Just wanted it to be fast and furious for a second. Okay. I'm good. I'm happy now.
Awesome. So, gosh. So, I'm looking at how much time I have left and thinking and looking at this thing that I want to throw at you. and I don't think it's enough time. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring you to this this large spire. And as you kind of pull up to it, you see that this one spire, there's also several others kind of like far out in the horizon, like miles away. You can kind of see the top of it. There's like similar spires. This is where different queens have been housed throughout the planet. As you like kind of make your way through the streets, also like it doesn't seem like any of the other helps seem to have any reaction to your presence. They just carry on with the work. They don't seem to. Yeah, whether or not they find your presence odd, they just don't react. They just carry on with what they're doing. You pull towards this colossal kind of spire head, and as you do, there's a large opening that you pass through with the speeder inside, following this kind of directions that Help had given you. And sorry, that is my alarm, reminding me that I put a lasagna in the oven an hour ago. Let me pull that out real quick.
We need a lasagna break screen now.
No, I'm just gonna keep talking to the chat.
Okay.
If you're out there and you have any questions about this game or any of our other games, you can tweet at us or join our Discord and talk to us. Here's the links.
Yeah. I can't smell, so I don't know when something is burning, or I forget about food all the time. So
Very responsible.
Alarms. So, yes. You get inside this very, like, as you enter in, the facility itself is actually pretty open. It's like a very cavernous inside, and you see dotted all across the surface, like pockmarked, these orbs of eggs that spiral up and 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 up, as the queen has been working overtime to make more and more formix. So, but to find a special queen egg, that's gonna probably take something of a climb to get up to.
Got this.
Yeah,
I can just fly, but I don't know about you two.
I can spider climb because a friend.
I'll stay down here.
We might need you up top, so maybe the two of us together can carry Rosh up.
I'm pretty sure I'm strong enough to carry him.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. If you don't mind being slowed down, you can carry Rosh the way up. Friend can slurp and stick onto Rosh and
Find you a ledge to stand on.
All right, so yeah, Vincent, do you want to just fly up?
I mean, I'll keep pace with my party, but
Okay. All right, flippy floppy, as Vincent goes up, flippy floppy, and it's not quite that intense, but can't imagine that sound, just like if like being Venom, just like oh. Just like every single time. Anyway, it takes a good amount of time to I don't know what the right word is, but to get to the top of the spire, and there you see an enormous creature with another creature like Help, but with an enormous butt that is swollen and slowly producing eggs. There is near her two longer eggs. They're a little bit longer than the kind of like the pale, like off-white translucent eggs that she's mostly doing, like bean shaped. These ones are a little bit longer, they're a little more rice shaped, and they also have like a slightly different coloration to them as well. They're a little bit like yellower almost. And those are there's like two of them that are being currently handled by a few other helps that are beginning to kind of lift them up and begin to carry them to a platform nearby. What do you do?
But just try and do a snatch and grab.
I suppose.
Seems to be the best option. I don't really want to have to fight all of them.
But I do worry about, they're gonna come after us and our ability to keep the eggs safe while defending ourselves. Unless friend can just cushion them the whole time.
I don't know.
Could try following where they take the eggs for now. Maybe that'll be easier to get them out of there.
I can... we discussed this last time. I can get us back to the ship instantly, if needed.
And this time it is a creature. Well, it was a creature last time, but yeah. And I think the last time the rub was the willingness. I'm going to say with this particular, because of the way that helps operate, like, it's going to be agreeable. Or willing is the word I was looking for.
I think also part of the issue before was just the sheer number, but yeah. So, I mean, yeah, could try and get us close and just teleport out.
I can try to take it.
I think that's going to be our best bet. And if things do go south, I also, trust they're going to try and avoid any collateral damage on the eggs. So.
Try to sneak up on them.
Okay.
I can get myself out. I can't go very far, but 30 feet or so.
Let's see how close we can get.
I'll try.
All right. You want to stealth your way over there, Gwen?
Yeah. Should I give myself advantage again?
3 of them.
I'm gonna use luck. Okay. Oh no. Okay. The first one was very bad. 19.
All right. So you're trying to just sneak over near where the eggs are?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, you're able to, with friend, I think what you do is like kind of you go to the underside of this platform and go like kind of spiral crawl underneath, and like it's like graded so you can kind of see where you're at and like where the eggs are and everything, and you can make your way over underneath one of the eggs.
Okay.
What do you do?
I guess there's no way for me to like move any part of this grate, right? It's just like a solid.
No, I like the idea that you can be able to like maybe move some great with particularly with strength. Your strength, you should be able to like.
Try to just like shift a piece of it.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, you shift it, and I'm rolling this into your stealth roll. you take one of the big things, and it is pretty big. It's like a what is roughly that shape? I don't know. Like you ever like or it's smaller than like a rolled up sleeping bag, a little bit. It's just like really really compact sleeping bag. It's kind of like the general size of what you're carrying.
I'm going to then, to expedite the process, Misty Step back to where I was.
And then in a kind of, what does a Misty Step look like for Gwen?
I think, I think it's more, what am I trying to say? I think it's less of just like disappearing and reappearing, and I think it's more of this like shadowy kind of thing. Like she kind of like blinks out most of the way and kind of like fades into like her shadow.
Yeah.
Zooms.
That's cool. Yeah. And then like,
It's dark.
And like, yeah.
It's dark and brooding.
Yeah. Like, I'm thinking like a much more wispy version of like the Shadow Baby in Game of Thrones or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the way it kind of travels.
Yep.
Like a little less corporal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's creepy, I think.
Yeah. So Gwen materializes with this egg in arms. What do you do?
Is that it? Back to the ship?
Yes.
Okay. I cast Word of Recall.
Okay.
To
All right.
take us back to the ship.
All right. So you cast Word of Recall. And does it bring you back to a specific part of the ship?
It would be Rosh's sanctum, the solarium.
Okay. So you all appear back in the solarium with the egg in your hands. And you notice that in the ship, kind of towards near the top of this ceiling, there is billowing smoke collecting.
Let's see where it's coming from.
Seems to be coming from the engine room.
Bad.
Run to the engine room.
Yeah, I just take off running.
As you run to the engine room,
You can the egg in the pile of pillows first.
Oh, I'll hand it to Vincent. you take this.
Oh.
Run.
Flops it on some of Rosh's pillows. Probably the safest place for it right now.
So I like the idea like as you're holding it, you do see it's like slightly like you can see a little bit through it, and you see like a little baby help just kind of like on the side with
You are
blind eyes and
the
everything.
keeper of the children this week.
You race over to the engine room, opening up the hatch, and more smoke begins to billow out. And inside, you see the grid walker that got away, setting fire to everything inside. When he notices you all coming in, panics. And we can do it. Well, we'll do this next time. We'll do this next time. Initiative to see if he actually gets away. But he's going to want to get away immediately once he sees you. And yes, we'll reserve everything for next time. But thank you all so much for playing. And I'm very excited to what will happen next time. So once again, thank you for joining Ggameknights. And make sure you come in by tomorrow for Neon Souls at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to see some cyberpunk goodness. Check out all our socials. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. We're on Discord. Hang out there with us. And, check out all our things. And we got lots of fun things going on all the time. So if you have anything you want to share with us, we'd love to see it. So if there's nothing else, then I'll say thank you so much and a good game and good night, Internet.